When running a daycare, it's important to remember that there's going to be accidents or injuries, and this is something that children are prone to, so you're not going to get out of it. And it's important to know the proper procedures when you encounter an accident or an injury. I have written here when to not call a parent. Well, some of this is just, you need to, decide whether you think it's important enough or not. When not to call a parent would be for small scrape, small bump, or even if they do fall, but there's nothing noticeable that they fell. Those would be reasons to not call a parent. I mean, if something is so small that it doesn't really matter, you will know the difference. The next part down here is when to call. Alright, if we have bruises, if we have bleeding, if you have big cuts, if you believe that there is a possibility of a broken bone. What's the possibility of broken bone? Alright. I've ran a daycare for 16 years, so I can tell you the ins and outs of when it's important, when it's not. The biggest thing is that you've got to get to know your parents. Some parents are annoyingly picky, especially if it's their first child. Other parents and those that have already got other kids are usually not as picky. So you're going to have some parents that absolutely everything, they want to know what happened, And some they're just like, yeah, their kid, that's a kid, and they go on. So it's important to make your own judgment depending on how well you know the parent or think you know the parent, and whether you think they're going to throw a hissy fit if you didn't tell them, or you'll figure it out, believe me. But I will tell you, I had a child. I knew the parent fairly well, and I figured out she wasn't the paranoid type, but that she did have something where her son broke his nose in my daycare. He was probably almost 2, and I have a husky 9-year-old who was swinging, and the little boy walked right in front of the swing, kicked him right in the face. It started bleeding. I took him in, I wiped it, cleaned it, it stopped bleeding. There was a little bit of bruising on top, but it didn't look swelled. I didn't even call her, I just texted her. I said, hey, he fell, his nose bled. It's a little bit bruised, but I think he's okay. She said, fine. Grandma picked him up, took him home. And that was, she thought it was fine when she left here. It wasn't until later that evening that we found out it was broke. So, just to let you know, on something like that, make sure you know the parent, because I probably should have called her. I didn't know it was broke. It's just one of these things you're going to have to use your own judgment. So, when not to call a parent, usually these small things don't necessarily matter. When to call a parent, you see the difference and the severity of what's going on with the child. So, as far as that part of the training, know your parents.